1997 Saturn Coupe SC2 twin cam. As 90s as a Faces of Death VHS tape.
A Saturn Coupe as 90s as kid pics. A Saturn Coupe.
Why is 90s GM so bad, yet I only have happy memories of it? Maybe it's the same reason Mambo No. 5 still sounds good, because it reminds me of driving to glow bowling in Saturns like these. This front-wheel drive 5-speed manual has a 1.9-liter 4-cylinder engine. At the time we filmed this, Kenny, the owner, had owned the Saturn for about 5 months. And he kept it pretty much stock! Except for the subwoofers in the back, the USB port and a cigarette lighter, and the LED lights everywhere. And a DVD head unit, because why not? Now, Kenny had a Volkswagen Fox before this, and he considers the SC2 a real upgrade. The 1.9 single cam and the 1.9 double cam were the only options for this series, but there were a variety of body styles to map into the run-of-the-mill drivetrain. This particular model is the SC, which stands for Saturn Coupe, but there was also the bulkier Saturn Wagon and the Saturn Luxury, which was attractive in that Melissa Joan Hart in the 90s kind of way. Kenny's Coupe, alliteration makes me wet, is the 16-valve twin cam, and it comes with almost every option except the automatic sunroof, moonroof, and the key fob with a trunk popper. I might have to run in 2016. Making America late again. As in pregnant. We're making America pregnant. No rubbers. Kenny's originally had leather seats, but the leather was cracked and reeked of cigars, so he replaced it with the cloth seats from a 98. Although the 97 to 2000 seats were all the same anyway. Hashtag feeling Bugatti. SC2, as 90 as Lilith Fair, and updates from Kurt Loder about Lilith Fair. History! Oh, lesson. Roger Smith was an accounting clerk who became head of General Motors and went on to be voted one of the worst CEOs of all time by CNBC. Why? Well, it wasn't because he launched Saturn, so much as Saturn became a carbon copy of Japanese auto manufacture, in order, in his mind, to compete with Toyota and the growing prominence of the Japanese domestic market. He intended for Saturn to be autonomous from General Motors, and it was, which sounded like a good plan in 1982. But the Saturn brand didn't launch until 85, and then the first Saturn car didn't even roll off the line until 90, just in time for the early 90s recession. Now, people love Saturns, and the first generation S-Series, all the wedgy kind of spaceship looking thing, love it. And they did sell well at first, and they were very endearing to the owners, but they just weren't popular enough on a national scale to compete with the more successful Japanese brands that Smith wanted to take down. Saturn's sheer excellence called to mind everything it wasn't, namely being a Toyota. Over time, and with infighting, it became harder and harder to justify General Motors' investment since Saturn cut deeply into their quarterly sales figures. The brand wasn't autonomous enough from General Motors to prevent the parent brand from suffering, and investors thought the money being poured into Saturn would have been better invested in existing General Motors brands and plants. In short, the whole thing blew up in Smith's face. So what Saturn became, and especially the SC2, it became a perfectly nice car for perfectly nice guys. This is the official car of Where's My Hug? One time in middle school, I wrapped toilet paper around my finger and tried to shove it up my ass while I was in the bathroom alone, but I was scared and my sphincter wouldn't open, so I flushed the toilet paper, which wasn't even brown, and I went back to Skills for Adolescence class. Saturn SC2. This other time, I went for a walk in the woods and jerked off. Saturn SC2. 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 SC2.
I'm trying to suck my own dick.
Yeah, backyard donkey prime registration line, drop a dime on the back nine, rigid headliner, nightlife, all knife, waffle life, diner, shit show, lowbrow, get in the backseat, listen to Judge's tape and give them back my band shoes. Saturn 90s going down the 90s hole, drop my bass drum mallet and show me your hat, box cadence, 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 cadence. So we're gonna play a sloppy gear shift song, where is reverse, where's my flip folder, rock on my back and put in a DCI tape and go farther brown. This is how it's done, leak my valve cover and sunk the dam on the cosplay company front. Up, one guy's out of step. ¿Dónde está el $4 tuba? Slush fund Joe Corby pizza and show up for the ham boat bake sale Janet Reno. Saturn SC2. This is a second generation, no pop-up headlights. Boo!
plastic intakes manifolds so it cranks when it gets older, bolder, tell you to stay in the toy shoulder.
This is a GMZ platform, which stands for
I mail a single pubic hair along with my monthly health insurance bill just so accounts receivable knows that at least on a subconscious level, I am.
Roger Smith works at GM is head. Roger Smith worked at GM, no more Saturn